Hi guys, it's Allie. In today's video I have the China Glaze Spring Fling for Spring 2017. That collection here for live swatch and review. I picked this up from the Head to Toe Beauty website. I think they were $3.25 a bottle, which is a great deal. And it's a 12-piece collection. And without further ado, let's jump in. So the first polish we have is called Blanc Out. This one is not a stark white. It's actually more of like a bluish gray. Well, it's a white, but it has some blue notes in there and some gray notes in there that keep it from being super stark. I don't know if this is a dupe for my boyfriend Skulls Walls because I don't have it, but when I think of what that polish should look like in my mind based on like everyone's descriptions, this one seems like it should be pretty close. So I don't know, I'm just throwing it out there, I don't know. This one had a normal to thick consistency, and on the first coat it went on. If you apply it thick, it can get opaque, but otherwise it's going to be a little bit sheer and a little bit streaky. So I would recommend applying two normal coats to get it completely opaque without any drying issues. So yes, that's how I would do it. It took me 2 coats both in my live swatch and in my swatch picture. And again, that's a Blanc Out. Next up we have We Run This Beach. This one is kind of a whited out tan, but it has some pink and gray notes in there that make it very interesting. This one has a normal consistency. On the first coat it went on a little bit patchy but easily opaque in 2, which is nice for these kinds of light shades. It also took me 2 coats in my swatch picture. And again, that's We Run This Beach. And next up we have Life is Sweet. This one is kind of a peachy tan matte with an ultra fine silver shimmer. Like, there's no point in me even saying that it has a silver shimmer because you can't really see it, at least in the bottle. You'll see from my swatch picture whether you can see it on the nail. I don't remember it standing out on the nail either, so it is what it is. This one had a normal to thick consistency. It was one of their matte polishes. So on the first coat it did go on a little bit streaky, or a lot streaky, and you do have to work fast with this. On the second coat it was able to get completely opaque, which was nice. And this is just another one of those matte polishes. In my opinion, it was better certainly than Partridge in a Palm Tree for me. And it was maybe slightly better than Combat Blutes, which I loved Combat Blutes. I didn't have any issues with it. Even though it was a matte polish, I still didn't have any big issues with it. So this one was maybe a little bit better than that. I was able to work. Now, here's the thing. Maybe I was able to work with it better because some of you were giving me tips in the comments about how to work with these matte polishes. So, hey, I don't know. Maybe it's just like the other two, but I just took your advice. I don't know. I really don't know. I think, in my opinion, it was easier to apply. So I'm going to say that it's better than the other two, but I'm just going to add that caveat in there that it might have been better to me because you guys were so gracious and gave me great tips for working with these matte polishes. So yes, it's not my favorite, but I actually did not mind working with this. It also took me 2 coats in my swatch picture. So yeah, again, that's Life is Sweet. Our fourth polish is called Just Cant-aloupe. This one is kind of a slightly orangey salmon color. It has a normal to thick consistency. It was maybe a little bit streaky on the first coat, but easily opaque in 2, not difficult to work with at all. And it took me 2 coats in my swatch picture as well. And again, that's I Just Cant-aloupe. Our fifth polish is called Buns Out, Buns Out. This one is a sheer grapefruit coral with a really orange toned golden shimmer. It is so beautiful. Spoiler alert, this is my favorite polish, and I can't believe I'm saying that because it is a sheer polish. However, just let me get there later. This one has a normal consistency. It's sheer on the first and second coat. It's still sheer on the third coat, but it does give decent coverage. I used 3 coats, or what you're looking at in the swatch picture is 3 coats of this. and I just don't mind this at all being sheer because it is so incredibly beautiful. You see the grapefruit color, you see the orangey gold shimmer, whatever, and it all just stands out on the nails, and it's so beautiful when it hits the light in different angles. It's just stunning. I can imagine this will be absolutely beautiful over a lot of different spring shades, and I cannot wait. I am so pumped for this polish. I can't believe this sheer polish is my favorite, but it is by far. I love this one. And again, that's Suns Out, Buns Out. And next up we have Moment in the Sunset. This one is a kind of a grapefruit pink, so less orange tones in there, just a straight grapefruit pink shade with this really dense gold shimmer that almost just acts like a flash. You don't really see the individual particles. It kind of just looks like a flash. This one had a normal consistency. It was a little bit sheer on the first coat, but I was able to get it opaque in 2 in my live swatch. In my swatch picture, I did use 3 coats for this. My second favorite or my third favorite, I don't know. I'm still trying. It's tied with another one, but I love this so much. It too is just so beautiful. It's completely different than Suns Out, Buns Out. This one is more of, I mean, obviously an opaque shade with just a gold flash. And this one really is, it's going to do a lot of stuff in the sun because the shimmer is more of a individual particled shimmer as opposed to just a flash. So they are very different. I can absolutely see why China Glaze put both of them in this collection because they are very, very different, even though they have similar color components in there. I love this one so much as well, though. It's just so pretty. So pretty. And again, that's Moment in the Sunset. Alright, and taking us, over the halfway mark, this is the 7th polish in the collection that I'm reviewing. This one is called Kiss My Sherbet Lips. This one is kind of a magenta cream with I marked down like a red-orange, but I'm just seeing like an orangey yellow actually right now. So I don't know what, maybe it was the lighting I was under. It's similar to Moment in the Sunset, but it's so fine. It's not going to jump out on the nails or anything. This one had a normal consistency. On the first coat it was a little bit sheer, but on the second coat it was completely opaque. I did use 3 for this in my swatch picture. I have a feeling that I probably stopped at 2, thought I was done, looked under the lights, and was like, nope. And so I did use 3 for my swatch picture, but I would say this is between a 2 and 3 coater because I don't remember it standing out to me at all. I don't remember it standing out that I needed 3 coats. So you might be able to get this one completely opaque in 2. And yeah, again, that's Kiss My Sherbet Lips. Alright, and our 8th polish is called Crushin on Blue. This one is maybe just a little bit darker than a cerulean blue metallic. This one has a really, really funky smell, so some of those blues have that, I don't know what kind of scent it is, but it's kind of funky. And this one definitely had it. It was quite pronounced. It does have a slightly thin formula, and it was thin on the first coat, went on, you know, kind of sheerish, light, but surprisingly it was completely opaque in 2 for me in my live swatch. In my swatch picture, I was also able to get this opaque in 2, so that's pretty cool. Really the only downside to this was the funky smell. I don't remember it staining my nails at all. You'll have to forgive me because I did these swatches like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, and I didn't take very detailed notes for once in my life, which I'm kind of shocked at, but so I don't know like all of the, I have all the categories listed out. I don't have anything by staining, so it did not stain my nails. But yeah, the only negative that I can speak to about this polish is the smell. It's quite off-putting, but once you get it on your nails and it dries, the smell is gone. It's just while the bottle's open that you smell it. So yeah, again, that's Crushin' on Blue. Alright, and our 9th polish is Don't Teal My Vibe. This is kind of just that perfect teal metallic. It sits right in between green and blue. The Don't Teal My Vibe does have a normal to, or thin to normal consistency. However, it is extremely pigmented, and it was pretty good coverage on the first coat, I must say. It was about maybe 80–85% opaque. You guys will have to forgive me. I had to cut my nails down, and I just realized I could not find my live swatch of this. So I'm going to swatch it after this, after I record this video, but it will be on shorter nails. I don't know what happened. Maybe I deleted it by accident, or maybe I never hit the record button. That is entirely possible. But I could not find the swatch, but I have all my notes here. It was very pigmented, like I said. It was easily opaque in 2, both in my live swatch and in my swatch picture. So yeah, that's another good one. Don't tell my vibe. Next up, we have Too Much of a Good Fling. This one is kind of just like such a beautiful mint green. Beautiful mint green. It's just a little bit more blue toned than Mint Sorbet by Sally Hansen. I actually had that on today. Just a little bit more blue than that, but it's just beautiful mint green. This one also had an absolutely gorgeous formula. It was a normal consistency, not too thick, not too thin. The first coat was just a little bit sheer in some spots, which is great news because that means it was easily opaque in 2, both in my live swatch and in my swatch picture. Such a gorgeous polish. I cannot rave about this enough. And if you can't tell, this one was my second or third favorite of the collection. So I did like this one a lot. And again, that's Too Much of a Good Fling. I also have to note that in my swatch picture, one thick coat did get this completely opaque. But again, if it's up to me, I would just do 2 normal coats so that I don't have to worry about dry time or anything. So do what you want to. And it's time to offend all my Canadians. The next one is called It's About Time. I know that people say they don't. I know that, like, I've seen Canadians say, we don't say a boat. But I hear it. Like, every time I hear a Canadian say a boat, about, it's like a boat. I'm just playing. I hope none of you took offense to that. Again, this one is About Time. About Time. I can't even say it. This one is almost just like an extremely pale silver with a teal shimmer that shifts almost like a pinkish color in certain lights. It's very interesting. I do like this one a lot too. This one had a normal consistency. It was sheer on the first coat, but easily opaque in 2, both in my live swatch and in my swatch picture. I would just say to keep your brush strokes straight. It's really hard to say because this one does leave behind brush strokes. It is a very metallic finish. What else? It's very unique to my collection. Surprisingly, it's not a clean silver. It's a very, very pale, almost, I hate to say the word dirty because I feel like when I use that word it sounds bad, but it's not bad. It's just like a murky silver. Very interesting and very unique to my collection. And I can't remember if this happened on the nails, but in the bottle it almost looks like TV static, which I love. I have to put this on again to see if it looks like that on the nails, and I will potentially do that on Instagram to see if it looks like that on the nails, so be on the lookout for that in the next few days. Or yes, I won't do it before I post this video. So yes, I need to see if this looks like static on my nails, because in the bottle it looks, because of the shimmer in there, it looks like static, like TV static, like moving. So cool. That's so cool. Oh man, that might have just, if it does that on the nail, it will easily jump up into second place. Easily. And yeah, that's all I got for you. So again, that's About Time. And the last polish of this collection is called Beach It Up. This one is a rose gold metallic with silver holographic bar glitter, and I will just go on record as saying this one is my least favorite of the 12. I just get the creeps with bar glitter. I don't know why, but it just, like, it makes my hair stand on end. It's so weird. But I will probably gift this to my sister because she was eyeing it when I took it out of the box. So yeah. Anyway, this one has a normal to thick consistency. It was almost completely opaque in 1, which was shocking. Of all of these polishes, this is the one that's almost opaque in 1. But yes, almost opaque in 1, easily opaque in 2. And it was just, you know, a very easy polish to work with. I was quite surprised that it was that easy. This one took 2 coats in both my live swatch and swatch picture. And again, that's Beach It Up. Alright guys, so if you can't tell, I'm pretty enthusiastic about trying to glaze the spring collection. I'm actually really happy with it. Is there super unique stuff? I think there's pretty unique stuff. I really liked, as you guys know, Buns Out was my favorite. And then Moment in the Sunset was another favorite. It's About Time has really soared up the list. And let's see, I really liked, what is this one? Too Much of a Good Fling. And I mean, I'm going to be holding almost all of them when I'm done. But, and then I also liked Crushin on Blue. Crushin on Blue is like maybe a step down, maybe 1 to 2 steps down from Frostbite, so obviously I'm going to love this one too. Other than the smell, I mean the smell was a little off-putting, but other than that. But yeah, I actually really like this collection, and I would pretty much wear everything except for the last one. So I feel like this one kind of redeemed the collections that I had previously bought and was like, yeah, I'm not going to wear any of these. So this one kind of redeemed it. I feel like I'll wear almost all of these with the exception of the one that I'm probably going to gift. The lighter 2 shades in the beginning, the matte one I probably won't wear very much, if at all. In fact, I might just give that one away. And then We Run This Beach, which is kind of that whited out tan with those pink and gray tones. Probably won't wear that one too much either. But I think everything else I would actually wear. Yeah. Maybe not Kiss My Sherbet Lips. That's not a shade that I really gravitate toward. But everything else, like for sure everything else, I would definitely wear. So I think 8 out of 12 is a good collection. And that's not to say that those other 4 aren't good for the collection, they just aren't my taste. So I think it's a good collection. Is there super unique stuff? I think there's some pretty unique stuff in here. Maybe 3 or 4 of the shades are really unique. And everything else you probably can find dupes for, but everything in here had a decent formula. I think everything was 2 coats or less. In my live swatch, and then in the swatch picture some of them I used 3, but I would attribute that more to bright lights than I would just needing 3 coats. So I was very favorable about this collection. Again, I would pick them up from Trans Design or Head to Toe Beauty. I'll have both of those sites linked in the description box for you because they are $3.25 at each site. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Pricing wise, again, they're $3.25 if you buy them on a discount site like Trans Design or Head to Toe Beauty, and they will range, I think, around $9 or $10. I haven't bought a China Glaze in the store in so long, but I think around $9 or $10 are what they retail for in somewhere like Ulta. And performance wise, this whole collection performed beautifully. There were no duds really. I mean, the only potential dud is the matte. If you aren't used to working with matte formulas, this one will be tricky to use. But other than that, I mean, everything was beautiful. No complaints whatsoever. On my lips, so I was going to show you what I had on my lips, but it legit like grew legs and walked away. So I'll just tell you, I have a ColourPop's Panda, which is one of the satin, I believe it's a satin liquid lipstick. I wouldn't even know if I had the bottle because all of it's worn off. Had it for a couple of years now. But yes, it's Panda, which is one of my favorite ColourPop lippies. And then on my nails, as I mentioned before, I am wearing Mint Sorbet by Sally Hansen, an oldie but a goodie. One of my favorite original Sally Hansen shades. The formula isn't great, or mine isn't. Even though I've had it for years, it's still not thickened up enough. It's still quite sheer and streaky, but the finish of it is just stunning. And if you want to see it, I have that on my Instagram page. And yes, that's what's on my nails and on my lips. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will just see you guys in the next one very soon. Bye!